Ladies and gentlemen, when you think about growth, we often imagine loud transformations, loud achievements, big milestones, and outward signs of progress. But in reality, the most profound transformations happen quietly, deep within us. Building yourself is a subtle process, one that often goes unnoticed by others but is felt profoundly within. It's the inner shifts that, over time, change the way you see yourself, the way you relate to others, and the way you engage with the world. The foundation for real, lasting change doesn't always require loud declarations or grand gestures. It requires quiet, consistent effort, a calm commitment to evolution. So, let's look at 6 ways you can build yourself quietly, but powerfully. First way is by cultivating self-awareness. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of personal transformation. It's about becoming aware of your thoughts, your emotions, and your reactions to the world around you. It's about observing your patterns without judgment, seeing how you behave in different situations, and understanding why you make the choices you do. When you do this, you can begin to understand what drives you, where your fears are rooted, and where your potential lies. This quiet observation opens up space for growth and change. You stop being a victim of your circumstances, and you start becoming the observer of your experience. In that stillness, clarity emerges, and from clarity comes power. Second, practice self-discipline. True transformation doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen without effort. It's about showing up for yourself day after day, even when no one is watching. Self-discipline is not about punishment. It's about creating habits that support your highest self. Whether it's waking up early, exercising, eating well, or setting boundaries, self-discipline is the quiet work that builds the foundation of your life. Over time, these small acts of discipline compound and create a strong, resilient version of yourself. One that doesn't bend to external circumstances but remains grounded in its own purpose. Third, embrace silence and solitude. It's easy to get caught up in the noise of the world. Social media, conversations, the constant rush of life. But the most powerful moments of growth come when you allow yourself to retreat into silence. Silence gives you the space to hear your own thoughts, to reconnect with your deeper desires and aspirations. Solitude provides clarity and the chance to reflect on what truly matters. It's in the stillness that you can hear your intuition guiding you, your inner wisdom showing you the next step. In this quiet space, you reconnect with yourself. And in doing so, you align more deeply with your true path. Fourth, shift your mindset. How you think about yourself, your life, and the world around you has a profound impact on your experiences. If you see obstacles as failures, then every setback will feel like a defeat. But if you view them as opportunities for growth, each challenge becomes a lesson, an invitation to expand. Shifting your mindset from a fixed, limited view to one that embraces possibility and growth is a quiet but powerful act. It's about understanding that your thoughts are not facts. They are simply patterns that you can change. When you consciously choose thoughts that empower you, your life begins to shift in alignment with those new beliefs. Fifth, cultivate gratitude. In a world that often focuses on what's lacking, gratitude shifts your focus to what's already abundant in your life. It's a quiet practice, but one that has a profound impact on your energy and your perspective. Gratitude grounds you in the present moment and opens your heart to the possibilities around you. It's easy to take the small things for granted, but when you learn to appreciate the simple moments, you begin to see the richness of your life in a way you may have missed before. Gratitude shifts your energy, and as your energy shifts, so does your experience of the world. Finally, trust the process. Personal growth isn't linear, and it doesn't always happen the way you expect. There will be moments of frustration, moments when you doubt yourself, moments when you feel like you've taken 2 steps backward. But trust that every step, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, is part of the journey. Trust that even in the moments when you can't see progress, change is happening beneath the surface. In the quiet, when it feels like nothing is happening, everything is happening. Your work, your discipline, your shifts in mindset, they are all sowing the seeds for future growth. Trust that those seeds are taking root, and in time, they will bloom into the reality you are creating. Building yourself quietly is not about rushing or forcing change. It's about the steady, intentional practice of self-awareness, discipline, silence, mindset, gratitude, and trust. It's about embracing the small, quiet moments that transform you from the inside out. And while these changes may not be immediately visible to others, they will reflect in the way you carry yourself, the way you interact with others, and the way you experience your life. It's the quiet work that creates the most profound transformation. Self-awareness is the first and most crucial step in building yourself quietly. It's the foundation upon which all other personal growth is built. Without awareness, it's impossible to know where you stand, what drives you, or where you need to go. Self-awareness isn't just about recognizing your strengths and talents, but also understanding your weaknesses, fears, and insecurities. It's about becoming an observer of your own mind, thoughts, and actions. This process begins by observing yourself without judgment. It means looking at your reactions in various situations, understanding the motivations behind your actions, and becoming aware of the emotional patterns that influence your behavior. When you become more attuned to your thoughts and feelings, you gain insight into what truly drives you, and you can start to make conscious decisions about how to respond to the world around you. The practice of self-awareness involves getting in tune with your inner world. It's about pausing long enough to recognize the thought patterns that dictate your behavior. When you are self-aware, you can start to identify limiting beliefs or fears that may be holding you back. You begin to notice how you react under stress, when you are triggered emotionally, or when you face uncertainty. Over time, this awareness allows you to gain control over these responses instead of automatically reacting. The more you observe yourself in these moments, the more you can consciously choose how to act, rather than simply being controlled by your impulses. This level of awareness requires patience and discipline. It's not something that happens overnight. It requires regular reflection, being present in the moment, and being open to seeing parts of yourself that may be uncomfortable. By consistently practicing self-awareness, you begin to understand the deeper layers of your personality and emotional makeup. You start to notice how past experiences and beliefs shape your current reality. With this understanding, you are empowered to make changes that align with your true self, rather than living on autopilot. This process of self-discovery allows you to shift your habits, challenge old beliefs, and ultimately step into the next phase of personal growth. In this quiet space of introspection, you build the foundation for lasting change. Self-discipline is one of the most powerful tools for quiet growth. It's the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it, and to consistently show up for yourself, even when the external world may not immediately reward your efforts. Self-discipline is often misunderstood as a rigid or punitive practice, but in reality, it's about creating habits that align with your deeper values and long-term goals. It's about choosing consistency over convenience, effort over comfort, and focus over distraction. The power of self-discipline lies in its ability to quietly shift your life, one small action at a time. Over time, these consistent, disciplined actions compound to create monumental changes, even if they are not immediately visible to others. When you practice self-discipline, you are essentially training your mind to stay focused on what matters most, regardless of how you feel in the moment. The mind will often try to lead you toward short-term comfort, whether it's avoiding hard work, indulging in distractions, or procrastinating. But self-discipline forces you to push through these impulses and stay aligned with your higher goals. It is the foundation for building success in any area of life because it allows you to make the right choices, even when those choices are difficult or inconvenient. The key is not to rely solely on motivation, but to create systems and routines that ensure you consistently move in the direction you want to go. Self-discipline also involves the ability to say no to both the things that pull you away from your goals and the distractions that keep you from living your most authentic life. It's about setting boundaries, both with yourself and with others, to protect your time, energy, and focus. It's about taking responsibility for your actions, your habits, and your life, even when the external world doesn't seem to reflect the effort you're putting in. This can often be a quiet, solitary process with no immediate recognition or applause, but the results are undeniable. As you continue to show up for yourself with consistency and determination, you build resilience, strength, and inner confidence. The discipline you practice today creates the life you'll live tomorrow. Embracing silence and solitude is one of the most profound ways to build yourself quietly. In a world that is constantly filled with noise, distractions, and the rush of external stimuli, it's easy to lose touch with your true self. Silence offers a sanctuary for your mind, allowing you to step away from the noise and reconnect with your inner world. In these quiet moments, you can hear your own thoughts without the influence of others, and you can begin to discern what is truly important to you. It's in the stillness that clarity arises, and you are given the space to reflect, process, and make decisions that align with your true desires. Solitude is often misunderstood as loneliness, but it's important to recognize that solitude is not about being isolated from others, but about finding comfort in your own presence. When you are alone, you are given the opportunity to tap into your intuition, to listen to the inner wisdom that is often drowned out by the noise of everyday life. It's during these times of solitude that you are able to examine your thoughts and feelings more deeply, without external judgments or expectations. This self-reflection allows you to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your fears, and your aspirations, ultimately guiding you toward greater self-awareness and inner peace. The power of silence and solitude lies in their ability to help you reconnect with your own voice. In the quiet, you can begin to uncover what truly matters to you, without the influence of other people's opinions or societal pressures. It's in this space that you can develop a deeper understanding of your purpose and your values. The quiet doesn't ask for anything from you. It simply offers the space for you to be, to reflect, and to grow at your own pace. It's a form of nurturing that doesn't require validation from the outside world. The more time you spend in silence and solitude, the more you begin to trust yourself and the decisions that arise from within. Solitude can also act as a powerful tool for emotional healing. When you are alone, you are able to process your emotions without the need for validation or distraction. You are free to feel what you need to feel, and to work through unresolved issues in a safe, private space. Silence in this way can be incredibly therapeutic. It allows you to clear away the clutter in your mind, so you can create space for new ideas, new possibilities, and a deeper connection with yourself. Shifting your mindset is one of the most profound ways to build yourself quietly. The way you think about yourself, your life, and the world around you influences everything you experience. Your mindset shapes your reality, either limiting you or propelling you forward. The power to change lies not in changing your circumstances, but in changing the way you perceive them. If you view obstacles as failures, then every challenge becomes something to fear. However, if you shift your mindset to see challenges as opportunities for growth, each obstacle becomes a stepping stone toward your evolution. The way you frame your thoughts influences how you feel, how you act, and what results you ultimately create. One of the most transformative shifts in mindset is moving from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. A fixed mindset believes that abilities and intelligence are static, that you are either good at something or not, and that effort doesn't necessarily lead to improvement. This kind of thinking can be stifling because it limits your potential and makes you more likely to avoid challenges. A growth mindset, on the other hand, understands that skills and abilities can be developed over time with effort and persistence. This belief encourages you to embrace challenges, learn from criticism, and persist despite setbacks. It allows you to see every failure not as a final judgment on your abilities, but as an essential part of the learning process. Shifting your mindset requires you to become aware of the automatic thoughts and beliefs that shape your behavior. These thoughts are often deeply ingrained, and they can be limiting or negative. By recognizing these beliefs, you can begin to challenge them. You can replace self-doubt with self-belief, replace fear of failure with the understanding that every setback is an opportunity for growth. It's about shifting your focus from what you don't have or can't do to what you can develop and accomplish with the right effort and intention. This shift doesn't happen overnight, but it begins with a simple decision to view life through the lens of possibility rather than limitation. A positive, growth-oriented mindset also helps you stay resilient in the face of adversity. Life can be unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. With a fixed mindset, setbacks can feel like personal failures, but with a growth mindset, they become part of the process, encouraging you to adapt, learn, and move forward. This mindset doesn't ignore difficulties, but allows you to see them as temporary and surmountable. It's about viewing yourself not as a finished product, but as a work in progress, constantly evolving and capable of greater things than you may have initially believed. Gratitude is a quiet yet powerful practice that can transform your life from the inside out. In a world that often focuses on what is missing, gratitude shifts your attention to what is already abundant in your life. It is easy to get caught up in the pursuit of more, the desire for future achievements or possessions. But true contentment begins with recognizing the wealth of blessings you already have. The simple act of acknowledging what you are grateful for can rewire your mind, helping you cultivate a sense of inner peace and fulfillment. When you practice gratitude, you are training your mind to focus on the positive rather than the negative. It's a way of filtering out the distractions and stresses of daily life, and instead focusing on the things that bring you joy, love, and satisfaction. Gratitude helps you shift your perspective, especially during difficult times. It doesn't mean ignoring or suppressing challenges, but rather choosing to see the lessons or the silver linings in every situation. This shift in perspective is subtle, but it has the power to transform your emotional state and your experience of life. Regularly practicing gratitude also deepens your emotional resilience. When you are grateful, even for the small things, it strengthens your ability to handle adversity. Instead of becoming overwhelmed by negative emotions or difficult circumstances, gratitude helps you see beyond the immediate moment and reminds you of your strength and your ability to overcome challenges. It anchors you in the present moment, allowing you to find peace in the midst of chaos. Gratitude acts as a grounding force, helping you stay centered and calm no matter what is happening around you. Furthermore, gratitude increases your sense of connection to the world around you. By focusing on what you appreciate, you open your heart to others, to nature, and to the simple joys of life. This sense of connection creates a deeper bond with yourself and with the people you encounter. It encourages kindness, compassion, and a greater appreciation for the experiences you share. Over time, gratitude becomes a cycle. By appreciating what you have, you invite more things to be grateful for. The more you practice it, the more your life shifts toward abundance and fulfillment, helping you cultivate a quieter, but more powerful sense of inner richness. Trusting the process is one of the most important quiet practices you can adopt in your journey of self-growth. It's easy to become frustrated when things don't seem to be moving at the pace you expect, or when progress feels invisible. Often we are conditioned to expect immediate results, but true transformation takes time. Trusting the process means surrendering to the natural rhythm of your growth, even when you can't see the full picture. It's understanding that each step, no matter how small, is a part of a larger unfolding that will eventually lead you to where you want to be. This quiet act of trust requires patience, faith, and a willingness to stay committed, even when the journey feels uncertain. The process of growth often involves challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt. In these moments, it can be tempting to give up or try to force things to happen faster. But trusting the process means accepting that every difficulty you face is an opportunity for learning and refinement. Instead of resisting or becoming frustrated with obstacles, you begin to see them as an integral part of your development. When you trust the process, you acknowledge that your struggles are not permanent, but part of a cycle of evolution. This mindset helps you stay grounded during difficult times and ensures that you don't abandon your efforts when you hit a rough patch. Trusting the process also requires letting go of the need for control. Often we try to control the outcome of our efforts, pushing for specific results, timelines, or milestones. However, true growth cannot be forced. It has its own natural pace. When you trust the process, you allow the flow of life to guide you, understanding that things will unfold as they are meant to, even if it's not in the way you initially expected. This act of letting go creates space for new possibilities and opportunities that you might have otherwise missed by rigidly clinging to a fixed idea of success. By trusting the process, you also begin to cultivate a sense of resilience. Instead of measuring your worth by immediate results, you learn to measure your growth by the consistent effort you put in day after day. This builds a quiet confidence as you come to understand that growth is not always visible at first, but it is always happening beneath the surface. In the end, Trust in the process allows you to remain steady, calm, and focused, even when the path ahead feels unclear. Consistency is often the quiet force behind true transformation. Many people expect rapid results or dramatic change, but real progress comes from the cumulative effect of small, consistent actions over time. It's easy to get excited about starting something new, but what really leads to lasting change is the ability to show up day after day, regardless of how you feel. Consistency doesn't require perfection. It simply requires that you stay committed to your goals, even when the initial enthusiasm wanes. In doing so, you create momentum, and with time, those small, steady efforts compound into something significant. When you are consistent, you build habits that become ingrained in your daily life. It's these habits that shape your identity, influence your decisions, and ultimately determine the trajectory of your life. The key to consistency is not relying solely on motivation, which can fluctuate, but developing systems and routines that keep you moving forward even during moments of doubt or difficulty. Whether it's waking up early, dedicating time to your personal growth, or practicing daily self-care, consistency means making small choices that align with your larger vision, day after day without fail. Consistency also requires discipline and self-awareness. There will be moments when you want to quit, when distractions or external pressures threaten to pull you away from your goals. In these moments, consistency is what anchors you. It's about developing the inner strength to continue, even when the rewards are not immediately visible. The process of building something worthwhile is not always glamorous. It can feel like you are putting in effort without seeing tangible results. But the true power of consistency lies in trusting that your small actions will eventually lead to something greater. Each day that you commit to your path, even if it feels like a small step, is a step closer to the person you want to become. Over time, consistency shapes your character. It builds resilience, strengthens your ability to stay focused, and teaches you patience. As you keep showing up for yourself, even on the days when it's difficult, you gain confidence in your ability to create the life you desire. Consistency doesn't require grand gestures. It's about the quiet, persistent effort you put in every single day, no matter how small. This quiet determination is what ultimately leads to profound and lasting transformation. Self-reflection is a powerful yet often overlooked tool for personal growth. It allows you to pause and examine your life, your actions, and your reactions without judgment, offering you the opportunity to learn from your experiences. This practice helps you gain clarity on your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, giving you a deeper sense of awareness and insight into your true self. It's about looking at your life through a lens of curiosity, rather than criticism, and being open to learning from both your successes and your mistakes. The beauty of self-reflection lies in its ability to bring clarity to your life's purpose and your goals. By taking time to reflect on your experiences, you can begin to notice patterns in your behavior, your thoughts, and your emotions. These patterns often reveal unconscious beliefs or habitual responses that may be limiting your growth or happiness. For example, you might notice that you tend to react defensively in certain situations, or you may see that you avoid difficult conversation. This compassionate approach fosters a deeper sense of trust in yourself, helping you stay resilient in the face of life's inevitable ups and downs. Patience is a powerful, often underestimated tool for quiet growth. In a world that prizes instant gratification and quick results, patience teaches us the importance of waiting, trusting, and allowing things to unfold in their own time. It requires us to surrender the need for immediate outcomes and to recognize that some of the most valuable experiences in life take time to develop. Patience isn't just about waiting for something to happen. It's about the way we carry ourselves during that waiting period. It's about being calm, present, and steadfast, even when things aren't moving as quickly as we'd like. One of the most essential aspects of patience is the understanding that growth isn't always linear. Often, when we start working toward a goal, we expect steady, measurable progress. However, real growth can be messy, and the path is rarely straight. There will be moments of setbacks, challenges, and even stagnation. But patience teaches us to accept these moments as part of the process. It's in these times that the most profound lessons are often learned. When you practice patience, you allow yourself the space to adapt, learn, and grow without becoming discouraged or frustrated by temporary setbacks. Patience also allows us to develop a deeper sense of self-trust. It helps you to believe that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way, even if the outcome isn't immediately clear. By remaining patient, you create the mental and emotional space to trust your own decisions, to trust in the timing of your life, and to trust that things will unfold as they are meant to. This trust in the process fosters a sense of inner peace because you are no longer at odds with the natural rhythm of life. Moreover, patience enhances our ability to stay focused on long-term goals. When you are patient, you resist the urge to rush through the process or to take shortcuts. Instead, you are willing to put in the time and effort necessary to achieve something meaningful. This focus on the bigger picture helps you stay aligned with your deeper values and aspirations, even when the journey feels slow or uncertain. Patience teaches you to enjoy the present moment, to stay connected to the process, and to embrace the journey rather than constantly fixating on the destination.